Hi guys, Spectre here. Welcome back to more Total War Warhammer 3. Continuing my Archaon campaign. Things are getting a little bit dicey. I mean, we're dealt with Malice now. At least Malice is out the fucking way. Malekith might become a problem later on. But I think he's still got to get through a fair bit of Sigvald. Because this is Sigvald's ally as well, Harganeth. How they're against Malekith, I don't know. I did see a Malekith army somewhere. I just can't remember the fuck it were. Is it here?
What is this foolishness?
Yeah, so here he's got some armies. Fucking hell, 3 heroes, 3 masters? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, so he's got quite a lot of territory to get through there. Couple of dark fortresses as well. How the fuck do they still own theirs? That's weird. And that's before he reaches the Blighted Grove, which is my first province there, which is a small one with the log encampment on it. My first big one would be the Black Rock. So yeah, it's going to take Malekith a while to get there, unless he goes by sea to cut out the land area. So I'll be done with that. But yeah, now I can start trying to push into Kislev and wipe out Kislev. Because what I'll probably end up doing with this campaign, they're probably not going to put the achievements in until it comes out of beta. Because there's no achievements for Immortal Empires yet. But considering they put achievements in for Mortal Empires, for both the Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 1 races, stands to reason they're going to do the same thing with Warhammer 3. They're going to have achievements for the Warhammer 1 and 2 races, and for all the Warhammer 3 races, and any races that come after. So I don't... Some people have said they won't be putting achievements in. I don't think so. I think they'll be putting achievements in. Absolutely. I think it'll just... The achievements will come in once it's out of beta phase. It just depends how long it's going to be in beta for. It could be in beta for 6 months. It could be in beta for a year. But what I will do with this campaign, I'm going to wipe out the factions I've said I'm going to wipe out. I'm going to wipe out Kislev, wipe out the Empire, and wipe out Bretonnia. They're my 3 primary targets. The Dwarves, the High Elves, and the Lizardmen I'm probably going to leave. And then what I'll do is I'll complete this in my own time to get my very hard chaos achievement. When the achievements come out, that is. But it then gives me a campaign that I can play off of stream and off of recording, that I can push forward and get some work done with, and see if there's anything more to figure out as I release updates and stuff. The main thing I would like to see, other than the recruitment system getting changed slightly though, so we can recruit at least basic troops, is I want to see them put all 3 types of Chaos Warriors into every faction, every type of god. So, example, for your Marauders, you can have Marauder with Shield, Marauder Great Punch you've already got, and then Marauder Spearmen. Because Marauder Spearmen are like their equivalent basically of Chaos Warriors with Halberds. So then you can upgrade them. Chaos Warrior with Hand Weapon and Shield, Chaos Warrior Great Weapon, Chaos Warrior with Halberd with Polearm. And then again you can upgrade from there to Chosen of the same weapons. They could put on the extra on if they want to, so you can have the Hell Scourges for normal Chaos Warriors and Chosen for Slaanesh. And you could have like... You've got your Doom Knights in there as your like extra cav, as well as your Juggernauts of Khorne. You've got your dual weapon Chaos Warriors for Khorne as well, so you can have those as like a fourth option for Chaos Warriors and a Chosen. Technically, the Marauder equivalent of them is the Marauder Berserkers, because they dual wield. But I just like to see all the iterations added in there. It makes no sense to have Slanesh with 2 and one of the ones they've got is complete shit. They've not got halberds and they've not got great weapons. Don't make any sense. And then Zinch have got halberds but haven't got great weapons. And then Khorne hasn't got great weapons. God knows how that works. So like, ah, yes, you can dual wield 2 one-handed axes, but you're not having a 2-handed axe, which is prevalent across all Khorne lore. Unless they plan on bringing it in with like another Khorne Legendary Lord at some point. I'm going, alright, for the 3LC, here's Chaos Warriors and Chosen of Khorne great weapons. It should be there from the start. Shouldn't need to come out with some Legendary Lord that's way down the track. They're basic troops that should be there. Because while some would say you can take shields against ranged weapons, against ranged armies, for a bit more protection, shields are okay, but they don't really do that much. And not against like armor-piercing missiles, they'll still fuck you up, with shields or not. You could say you're alright, you take halberdiers, which are anti-large. They're better against large units. Now that is true, they are better against large units than great weapons are. But great weapons still deal a decent amount of armor-piercing damage. So great weapons can still kill large creatures. They're just not as good at it as halberdier units are. But then great weapons are good against everything else that isn't large. Where halberdiers get that extra damage against large targets that makes them excel. So you might take a couple of halberdier units for like the flanks in your army, the flanks of like your main line. So if you have like an 8 strong main line, your unit on your far left and far right, which is where the AI cavalry normally goes, could be ones with halberds. And then your centre core line is great weapons. Because you're looking to break the enemy fast. You might take more damage from missiles going in than you would do if you had shields, but shields aren't going to break the front line quick. And while you're stuck in combat with enemy melee troops, their range units are still going to be shooting at you. You need to break through the front line really quickly so you can get to their weaker range units. Obviously, in my case, I've got the Chaos Knights to go around and do that. But depending on the army composition that you're against, they can also be stalled as well. It's always better to break through the enemy quicker. The longer it takes, the more it's in their favour. The more chance it gives them to fucking hell, very much. How much? Son of a bitch. You kidding me? Being blocked by a fucking hero? Oh my god. There's that many heroes in the way I can't move. Third army's coming down. I've just got to be careful with him. I do need to get that at level 10 so I can get that. So it costs 10,000 souls, but I can make him an undivided demon prince. At rank 30. What level's that second lord at? 21. Yeah, that one, keep it turned off. His I'll actually put on. Because what I'm going to do is, I'm going to send him to a demon prince at 30. I'm going to save it beforehand and see what his skill tree becomes. Because I'm assuming this is going to change. Because he's going to get access to probably a lore of magic of some kind that isn't going to be there, or well, isn't there at the moment. But I want to know what's going to happen with these. Because if these change and he suddenly loses this, and he's got something in its place that's not as good, probably isn't worth taking as a demon prince. You might as well leave him as a chaos lord on a dragon. Also, 10,000 souls is a lot. At the moment, I haven't got 10,000 souls because I'm using 550 a turn. It's not hard to get souls back, admittedly. Oh shit. They're going to reinforce, aren't they? You fucking bastards. Well, if that's the most of her armies down there, at least she's left herself open to Archaon's armies that are going to come in from that side. Having to chase down all the stupid army that she'd brought around. Because these are Costaltim's guys, they're not her armies. So she's relying on Costaltim guarding her flank. The crazy bull-headed man will not be enough. Speaking of, there he is. Mr. Homeless person. Don't know what, I just touched my elbow. Shit. Well, they're outnumbered by the Dark Elves there. Because that's like a 3/4 army. The other guys haven't even got a quarter. On the chaos side. I'm surprised Festus is still alive. Festus literally lost all his territory except his starting settlement. What the fuck am I seeing here? They can still reinforce from there. Oh, I see what he's done. It's really clever, actually. They've used what they've been using against me, which I'm sure wasn't in Warhammer 2. They besieged with the army of practically nothing, and then he couldn't reinforce the weaker army that was outside, and he just got shit on by the bigger army. That was actually really clever. I've not seen the AI do that against itself before. That's interesting. Clever bastard. Problem now is, though, that small army is now got no way being reinforced by the bigger army. So if he gets attacked, it's proper screwed. How many bloody Chaos Trolls? Well, it's better than Marauders and Chaos Warhounds, which has still got fucking quite a few of those. Oh, that guy looks really cool. Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh. That's a sorcerer? Fucking hell. I wonder why he's not going for Brass Keep. Might be because of the garrison. But he's got a decked out fucking garrison either. Okay, the high levels. I mean, admittedly, I wouldn't want to be sending great swords onto a wall. At least, definitely not up a ladder. Maybe through a siege engine. But, onto a wall to fight fucking Chosen. That would not be an ideal scenario. If they go up a wall, they've definitely lost because a wall makes units very tired by climbing the ladder. Not very tired in the same way that you are in March Dance. You can recover from it, given time. But obviously if you're climbing up a wall straight into combat, you're not going to get a chance to recover. So you're very quickly going to go from very tired to exhausted. And then your melee unit's fighting at its weakest. Where the Chosen on the walls will be fresh. So they're going to completely dick over whatever's fighting them. Even if it's something that normally could give them a fight on a relatively even playing field. Though I'm not sure how well great swords do against Chosen. I mean, they can fight Chaos Warriors, absolutely. Probably even beat Chaos Warriors in all honesty. But Chosen, they might struggle because they're next tier up. And they're a tier above most other high infantry like Black Orcs, Blackguard, Nagrand, Harganth Executioners, Graveguard. They're better than all those types of units. Especially now they can have perfect vigour as well. That's like really insane. Because that means they don't get tired at all for the battle. That's one thing I think there that makes Chosen of Undivided better than any of the others with a mark. Because unless the ones with a mark can also get perfect vigour, straight away their Chosen are inferior by that alone. Because it means as long as the fight goes on, they're going to get weaker with the mark. Chosen with perfect vigour that are undivided aren't. They're going to remain at full strength, full activity the entire battle. They're not going to take a leadership hit. They're not going to take a damage hit. The others all are, unless they can have perfect vigour. So I think if they're going to give perfect vigour to Undivided Chosen, all Chosen should have it. Should be across all of them by some technology in the tree. Otherwise, it means Undivided Chosen are the best Chosen type you could have, basically. Because then the only benefit the other Chosen have got is what their mark gives them. But is their mark, what their mark's giving them, is it enough to sway the advantage of perfect vigour? I'm going to say no. Because they are going to have basically the same stats, maybe with slight variance, and they are going to get tired. Both getting there and fighting in combat. And as soon as they start to get tired and they start dropping down that, so they lose that bit of leadership, that bit of damage, Undivided Chosen aren't. And it's going to very quickly make itself known of the variance. And for somebody who prefers melee armies over ranged armies, I've tested out melee armies in most armies in the game, or tried to build some sort of melee variant. Some armies it works in, some armies it does not. Like one army that doesn't really build a decent melee army, Skaven. Skaven build terrible fucking melee armies. The only Skaven variant that comes close to working is Clan Molder, and basically you're not building a more balanced workable army like this. You're building doom stacks. You basically got to go Hell Pit Abominations, the single entity rats. You basically got to go creatures like that, and then you've got to buff them out with fucking mutation as well. He did it. Way to go, Fragnus. Way to go, buddy. He has blocked their movement. To be fair, in March stance, they might still make it. Modifies campaign movement range of target armor by 20%. So it's by 20%, and then I'm guessing it increases with this. Yeah, so if it's maxed out, it'd be 35%. So they'd lose a third of their movement with block armor maxed out. But because he hasn't got any points into that, they've only lost 20. So they've still got 80% of the movement. So if they go March stance, they can still make it here. And that garrison is not complete. It's just that tier 3. The tier 3 walls. I mean, that army's partly damaged and doesn't look amazing. And same with that army as well. But it is a 420 stack. It does have things like that as well, which could be annoying. That's got how much range? What the fuck? If they don't attack it straight away, I can get this army there to maybe try and help lift the siege. Because then it'd be my army and my garrison against one full army and that just over half army. So it should be in our favour, even auto resolve. But then, if need be, I could also try and fight it in defensive siege. Because I've got quite a few good units here. I've got some shit ones as well, but I've got some good units that I could really make them pay, trying to take this from me. And with the Chaos Towers being built on top, I could make it very difficult for them.
Unhand the Tsarina.
This is why. I'll move.
I'm just being careful there because if Costaltin goes for it, sure he can bring his army, I'm not worried about that. But then that army can reinforce. And then I'm against 35 units. While my army potentially could still win, I might take losses, and the only unit in here I can afford to lose is the Regiment of Renown. Because they can be recruited in 10 turns, or I could just get a unit of Chaos Knights to replace them, or even get a War Shrine. There's a few ways I can replace this, but I can't afford to lose anything else. And that's the thing with your Chaos Armies now. Compared to any other faction in the game, your units are super, super precious because of how fucking long it takes to get them to where you want them. I mean, you can recruit aspiring champions off the bat, and you can recruit Chaos Knights off the bat when you've got the appropriate building. But they've still got to rank up to 9. Now you've got to do that with other armies as well when you recruit units. But obviously recruiting this many is RNG based. Same with these guys. Where other armies, if they say one, I don't know, say Orcs and you wanted 8 Black Orcs, you can just recruit 8 Black Orcs. Might take you a couple of turns, and then they start ranking up. Where we've still got to wait on the RNG to get them all, and you're not going to get this many Chaos Knights quickly. It's going to take a while. But this is going to be the longest part here, the Chosen. Because even if you recruit them as, say, a Chaos Warrior and not a Marauder, you've then got to get them to rank fucking 7 to make them a rank 0 Chosen, and then start ranking them up all over again to get to rank 9. So, losing a high ranking unit of Chosen or Chaos Knights, something you really, really don't want. You really don't want. Why is it saying Path to Glory available on this guy? In what particular way? Because I can devote to one of these gods? Okay, right, what we'll do is then, I'll turn that off again, because it's annoying, and I'll just wait until level 30. I know it's at level 30 that I can attempt it. Oh! See, that I was hoping something like that might happen because they've probably seen my Chaos Army and thought, fuck that. I think that army's dead. Oh, what the fuck? Oh no, they're going for the big army. The big army's running away, that's not a good sign. Unless because it's backed up by that. Can he win? That'll be a no. They took no losses. Ugh. I wonder if Sigvald's army can beat that. Because that guy hasn't shown any sign of being fucking scared. He didn't go back towards the city. Looks like they're getting ready to move in on Festus. I need Festus to try and stay alive if he can, or at very least just stall them for like another 10 turns. Oh, he's not going at that army. That's not a good sign. That's a stupid manoeuvre. Why would you try and run past that army that's there? It's clearly able to catch you. I just found out today the price of my new graphics card, because I buy a graphics card roughly every 4 years. I don't buy one every 2 because it's a bit expensive and I don't have the kind of money to just throw around for that. So, and usually within 2 years anyway, your card's not out of date. It can play like every game. I mean, I've got a card that's now 6 years old, and it still plays most new games in either full graphics or close to it. But I would have bought a 30 series card, but because of the situation at the time with scalpers and bitcoiners, there just wasn't enough supply to meet the demand. And people like me, genuine gamers, couldn't get cards, so you got shitty bitcoiners or crypto miners getting cards they didn't even really need. And they weren't just buying one card, they were buying several in some cases. Where, as me as a gamer, I just need one graphics card. I don't need 2, 3 or 4 or 7. I just need one. But I couldn't get one. And that's what they are. They're a graphics processing unit. They're designed for graphics, not to farm some fucking imaginary fucking currency online. So, I do not like bitcoiners. As people, I really don't. Not for when they buy them for that and not use it for gaming. And if you're buying multiple graphics cards for gaming, you're doing something wrong. But now the Bitcoin's basically gone downhill, as we all knew it would. It doesn't mean it won't resurge again in the future, so I'm hoping Nvidia keep an eye on that. And if it does resurge, and they bring out a new card, they've got enough supply to meet that demand. Because now they've seen it happen, they know roughly what to expect. So they know to make sure they've got a surplus of chips ready on hand, so genuine gamers don't get left in the fucking dark. Yeah, my new card should be coming out, I think it's in November, mine, because it's the 4090 that comes out in October, and I'm going for the cheaper one of the 4080 series, which is what I plan to go for anyway. But even then, that's £949. It's almost £1,000. That's close to what some people spend on a decent mid-range computer, and that's just a bloody graphics card. So I'm going to see what I can get. I might have a look at the Nvidia one. I've never had an Nvidia one before. I've had Asus, EVGA and MSI, which is what I've got in my computer now. They're the brands that I've had in the past. I know EVGA aren't doing graphics cards anymore, but obviously all EVGA and companies like those do, they just put on their own cooler. And it's still the Nvidia chip, they just attach their own cooler. But I've never had an Nvidia card and an Nvidia cooler. If I can get hold of one of those, I might try one. See if they're any good. They always look quite nice. And then I should have my card ready, and that'll keep me for the next 4 years. And then I'll look at buying whatever the new one out, which will probably be the 60 series. If they're going the way they're currently going. Because the 50 series I won't buy, and then I'll look at buying the 60 series 4 years from now. But like when I bought my 10 series that I've got, I bought mine on day release. No problems. Plenty of supply and demand, no issues. Scouted out the card that I wanted beforehand, bought it. Obviously I weren't buying the 20 series, I was skipping to the 30 series because every 4 years, but what the hell is this? Ooh, guess War Shrine Sign ×2. Passive ability Axe of Core. Huh? Right, okay, let me have a look here. Alright, okay. Well, he hasn't got armor yet, so he would take priority over the other hero. So let's give him the Helm of Discord. That could actually be really good on the other guy though, because he's a Cursed Lord and he's more important than a hero. Yeah, because that gives a version of demonic strength in there as well. The fact as well is that it gives him a fucking 20% ward save for 57 seconds, which is quite a long time. Now it says cooldown 60 seconds, so you can use it 3 seconds after you've had the ward save expire. But you've only got one use of it anyway. So why give it a cooldown? It's kind of weird. Unless when you've used one of them it locks out the other two for those 6 seconds, so you can't use those. That bomb makes sense.
Bring ruin. Bolt of change. Tempests of fire. Ready.
That's that blocked.
My magic is yours. Despoilers come. Forward unto slaughter. Ready.
Well, they can't move that far now, that's for certain.
Moving now.
So let's see if she decides to attack or not.
Spread ruin on them.
What did he have on? We'll give that to the Lord actually, give that to him. Because he ain't got jack shit at the moment. Yeah, give that him. Yeah, he's got Obsidian Lid, which is actually really good. Because that one doesn't actually give you any stats. You just get extra base weapon and on-piece weapon damage, but it builds up after you've got kills. You don't actually get anything to help you get them kills. Luckily, he's already got magical attacks because of his stuff, so yeah.
A glorifying act.
Leave me there.
Dominance.
I need this hero to show me what's what around the area. I know he did have a second army somewhere.
Patriarch.
I don't know where the fuck it's gone to. So we hit this. Easy. I was thinking about occupying it, but if occupying it, then I'm stuck in there. But if they attack me, I can still retreat.
I die.
And I'm at the limit of his movement
betraying
as well.
Kislev.
So he's going to struggle to do much to me. But it also stops me taking that fucking winter bullshit attrition they've got all the fucking time.
I am pleased.
It's very good to get that. Increases your ambush success chance and your ambush defense chance, which is also good. I mean, you don't need it as much for melee based armies that are really strong, like Chaos. But because if someone just tries to ambush you, really, I mean, they're just playing into your hands. I mean, Skaven can't build a melee army worth fucking damn, so they've got to build ranged. So they're not going to deploy right near you if they do, the fucking idiots, because you're going to crucify them. And the only other ones that would be able to like attack in ambush stance are beastmen, who are more than likely going to be ally rather than your enemy. They would be quite fierce in a fight. In an ambush fight, and they do get lots of bonuses to fighting in ambush as well. But I'd still say Chaos can win that fight. With armies like I've got anyway. The AI probably not, because they'll recruit a stupid amount of marauders. He went into ambush stance right there. Gotta hope they don't fall for that. The other one would be Wood Elves. Wood Elves are only the one that can attack in ambush stance. But again, Wood Elves are more of a ranged army. There are melee variants with Durthu and Dryja. They can build melee variant armies, but I don't think they stack up very well against Chaos. I think Chaos still wins that fight quite easily. They would have more chance with their ranged army, because like you've got your Way Watchers, things like that, who can move and shoot Lampierce missiles, and they couldn't get caught by your chosen Chaos Warriors or aspiring champions. But your cavalry can catch them. But your cavalry is not going to be your entire army, and they're going to have a lot of fucking archers. But then I suppose you can just get to the new escape point they've put into ambushes and just literally leave the battle. And regardless what army they deploy, nothing's going to do enough damage to kill your units before they get there. That's good. In fact, no, what? Did the Chaos just lose that? Against one Empire army? Say it ain't so. If it is, then Festus is dead and I can't get it down there to save him in time. And if Festus is dead, unless Vlad's still kicking around, Festus is the last threat between me and Kislev, so he's probably going to send all his armies north to help Kislev out, just as I'm pushing as well. All it means it's going to do is it's going to be a bit back and forth, because if they send like 3, 4, 5 armies up, obviously I can't take on that many armies at once, so I'm going to need to like pick and choose my battles, sort of. It might involve going back into the mountains and playing shadow games a little bit until I can pick 1 or 2 off, unless my allies do something actually fucking worthwhile. This is how it kind of should be. So all the forces of chaos are unifying against the Kislev and then the Southlands with the Empire and stuff. Where there's that many chaos armies, they don't know what to do. That's what the end times incursions are like. Because you're not just fighting like one warlord who's brought his tribe and other tribes have tagged along, and maybe from one god denomination, or even an undivided champion who has brought in a bit of extra stuff. The Everchosen brings in everyone. She's still there.
Well, let's be about this. For chaos. Let's be about this. Good. Now we see.
And she's been abandoned by her own 2 armies. Oh, what a shame. What a little shame.
Looks this way.
I'm just debating which way to go first.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy!
I mean, his army's shit, so I'm not worried about his fucking army.
It is decreed by me.
Let's take out Hell Pit. We'll go this way because Prague's a dark fortress, and it'd be my one of my most forward staging posts if I can take that. But the next one being Brass Keep if he does fall. That's the only positive, that if he dies, I'll then take that. But then Middenheim's not far from it. if there's anything else around here. Altdorf's not one. I can't see none. Can't see Drakenhof, I don't know if that's one. I don't know. Yeah, well, we might destroy Hell Pit. I might. In fact, no, I'm better off occupying that, aren't I? If there's not an army nearby, I'll occupy it. Depends on what Costalton does with his army. It's the same things at the bloody growth building. No supply lines is very good though on Warriors of Chaos. I'll be honest, that's something that they really needed. Something that all Chaos factions should have, really, in my opinion. So Warriors of Chaos, Beastmen, I've got it. The other two would be Norska and Demons of Chaos. I think they need to have a way where there's no supply lines either. Not that they don't pay upkeep, because obviously like Beastmen's units are free. They're kind of more like in line with Tomb Kings, but they'll still have upkeep on Norska, Warriors of Chaos and Demons of Chaos, but they need to have no supply lines. Just get rid of supply lines entirely out of the fucking way.
They will be dominated.
Make it like a Chaos thing where they just don't have supply lines. Right. If I attack with the city, they're going to run that way, they might escape. But if I attack this way, they're going to run this direction.
Attack! Invade! Are you
And maybe I can't then.
kill them all?
Oh, she's running that way.
Despoilers come. Despoilers come. You have my favor.
Move him there so they're all together.
I serve only the motherland.
Because she ain't got lightning strike. Her army's not that good, to be completely honest. I mean, this is all shit. Handgunners obviously can do damage, but I've got an army that counters them with my cavalry. Bear Cav can be nasty and they are anti-large, so they will hurt my Chaos Knights. Heavy war sleds, I don't really rate them. They're not bad, but I don't rate them. Little Grums can do a lot and they've got a fuckload of range. Why have they got that much range? It's preceding my city, bitch. I believe this is mine.
The Ice Queen bows
You're not having
to
my
no
forward city. Can he... Oh god, almost no chance of happening. Yeah, failure. What the hell? I don't care about that. See, one thing I don't understand, I've been seeing this in some other people's videos. Devote to Zinch but Lore of Metal. I'm not sure if they changed it in some of the editions of Warhammer, but in the editions of Warhammer that I played, if you took a God's Mark and you were a spellcaster, you could only use that God's Lore of Magic. So if you had the Mark of Nurgle, you use the Lore of Nurgle. If you took the Mark of Slanesh, you use the Lore of Slanesh. And if you took the Mark of Zinch, you use the Lore of Zinch. And the Lord of Zinch is probably one of the best laws of magic in the game anyway. So why the fuck would you ever take metal? And why would Zinch let you use the law of metal? More to the point. If you're bearing his mark, he's going to want you to use his law of magic that he designed. Not some common law of magic that's not even got a god link to it. That's an insult to Zinch. And makes no fucking sense. If I were going to go one, I'll go one of these two. Because that one's minus 15% cooldown to spells, which is pretty good. And that one's, you get some more hit points, spell resistance. Spell resistance you don't really need to a single target. But then you get miscast base chance minus 15%, which is pretty good. But because these are being used as my agents, block army.
The gods.
Oh god, we unlocked... Yeah, we've unlocked more, haven't we? Yeah, I don't need more on yet though, do I? Huh? Alright, okay. Did we have the... I'm guessing I can't do it from here, can we? No, we can't. No, we can't. Oh, they can though. We've got 2 out of 2 case war shrines, right, okay. That one remove that gift. And it's removing a Slaanesh one, because weren't there a thing for it, weren't there, with the research? Yeah, that's what it was for, yeah. There's 15 diplomatic relations with each Slaanesh faction for each active gift of Slaanesh. Was the idea. I will put it back on, but I just don't need it right now. I wish Shatterstone gave your army the siege attacker ability as well in some cases. So you can actually use that rather than having to have a siege attacking unit. He's got mortality. That's good. At least that lord isn't going anywhere. The hero's level 14, so he's still got 6 levels to go. Oh god. They're not going to do what I think they're going to do, are they? And just start rampaging through the Norscan shit again. Yeah, she's running away. I thought as much. moving there. Okay. Means when I attack Hell Pit, if it's not decisive and low, and even if it is, I need to consider it carefully. Because if it's not, then I need to hold off on that. Fucking hell, how many armies you want to bring in? I thought we were going to bring in a third army then. So Broskkeep is now under siege, so it can't recruit any units. So it's got just its garrison. So I think Festus is going to get wiped out. But as I said, on a plus note, it does give me a really big forward operating base, because then I can take that off the Empire. And I've got a forward Dark Fortress I can use. I probably won't recruit armies at it, but I can send armies back to it if they do lose like a unit or two here or there, which will still be painful, but at least I haven't got to go all the way back to like Prague to try and grab a unit. I'm still better off recruiting my units probably in the Chaos Waste somewhere, because there's that many Dark Fortresses there. I can gather my troops more quickly by running through the various Dark Fortresses. Where if I recruit one in the Empire, it'll take me fucking forever to get the troops that I want.
I welcome your visit, champion. Now show your allegiance before...
How about you make peace with them, Azazel, and use your fucking brain? Use your brain, you moron. You've been around since the time of Sigmar, you're one of his best friends, and you're still a fucking idiot. At least we haven't got any Kislev provinces back there. I want to keep it that way. And she's got 3 armies here, but so have I coming up. I just need to know what sort of range we're looking at, which I'll find out at the start of this turn. Stop sacking his fucking settlement and take it, or raise it. Make life difficult for him. One less settlement he's got. For the AI, you've got to think of their armies and settlements as life. As like life points. Every settlement they've got is a life point. Be it a town or a city. A city can allow them to get better units, but it's still one life point. The same with each army, because each army can reclaim towns or cities, or occupy new ones. It keeps their civilization going. You've got to take out every army and every town or city. Then you've eliminated all their life points, and the faction's dead. He's done what? What does that fucking mean? He gained Corruptor. This. It says ward save. That's not a ward save. You want to give me a ward save, then change one of those two to a percentage ward save. Then it's a ward save. Ooh. Oh my god. This guy. He's got all of his.
What is thy will? I concur.
Boyars bow to no.
So they can force march to here, I'm guessing, and they can all move to there. So
Despoilers come.
No higher power than I.
Blessings of the Changer.
shit.
Are you a god? The gods direct me. Now is chaos. This is wise. Moving now. A glorifying act. Bring ruin. A glorifying act. Ready.
That's really close to rebelling. Let's maybe have that and not rebel.
Now is chaos.
Oh, it's because that's so low. Shit, put that on.
You dare.
I'm tainted my fucking province, the bastards. Gotta send the taint back up to get public order back up. Right. It's decisive and low, and it is a shit garrison, so we'll risk it. It did take a lot more damage than I should really against that crap.
Syrians are gods.
Ooh. I'm gonna take that. Is it not being funny? A city the size of hell pit reduced down to fucking that. It's not right. It's really, really not right. And how the fuck is Prague and Brass Keep a dark fortress and Hell Pit is not? It's a stronghold to Skaven, the spawn of fucking chaos. That should definitely be a dark fortress. All the Skaven major cities should be. They're tainted as fuck by Warpstone, which is basically chaos given form.
Yes, ruinous powers. Yes, my ruinous powers. What?
We ain't got anything. Keep that. This I really don't need, but there's no point salvaging it for 500 favour, that's just a waste. So I'm better off waiting until I get another blue enchanted item, and then fusing them to try and get something better. Try and get another blue item of something.
They will be dominated.
One thing I think CA could do, you guys have to let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with this idea. Why don't they make 2 or 3 generic purple items? So 2 or 3 weapons,
Destruction for all.
2 or 3 armor, 2 or 3 talisman, 2 or 3 enchanted items. Maybe 2 or 3 arcane items for mages, but because mages can use all these items and only mages can use those, probably not the mage items. Or maybe 1 for the mage. But make 2 or 3 unique purple items, but that are generic, so every faction can use them. Every faction can have a chance of dropping them or looting them. Every faction. And these are the 1 purple item that can be stolen by the enemy, because they're not unique to your faction. They're not like a faction specific purple. They're a generic purple. So maybe not unique actually. Just make them a purple general item. But they'll be higher quality and have obviously much better stats than any greens or blues, whatever. But they'll be general. So it'll be like armor will be like, well, kind of like that. Armor, physical resistance, ward save, maybe melee defense. But it'll have more of the stat. Weapon, give it like weapon strength, armor piercing weapon damage or armor piercing weapon strength, melee attack. Make it general. Talisman, obviously, ward save. Maybe a bit physical resistance or melee defense, something like that. Your enchanted item, this is where they could get creative, because it could be a number of different things. So they could add some ward save on there. They could add one that's got like horrible regeneration for, but it won't work for the character so much, but the character gets regeneration, but it gives horrible regeneration to units around him within like a 55-meter range. Something like that. And then maybe they could give like some melee attack and melee defense. Something. You know? Make them worthy of being a purple in colour, but they can be stolen by the factions if you lose in battle. But every faction has a chance of getting them. And then you've got some purples across every faction, rather than your best items being a blue. And obviously most purples, like, example, hers, these are unique to her. So nobody else can have them except her. Same with Archaons. Archaons is 4 purples. Nobody else can have them except him. So maybe just a bit of out-of-the-box thing they could do there. And I said not a lot of them. Maybe 2 or 3 for each slot item. Or if they want to, just one of each. Just like 1 armour, 1 weapon, 1 talisman, 1 enchanted item. Just 1 item of each. But every faction can get them. Every single one. So you have a chance of them from beating an army in battle, from beating a sea event, from looting a town or a city. You have a small chance of getting these purple items. But where your normal purple items are safe, these ones can be stolen by the enemy if you are then beaten. Or they can be lost if your character dies. So like if it's I don't know, say for some reason they end upon a hero, so the AI gives it to a hero, but the hero gets assassinated and killed because he's not immortal, and the item's then gone. You've lost it. You then got to try and loot another one. But obviously you could have multiple of these on your faction. So you could have 2 or 3 characters with the armour. Just obviously they're very rare compared to like all your others. I mean your blues are rare enough anyway, so it'd be rarer than your blues.
Now is chaos.
Right, I'm going to leave him there for a bit to get the public order sorted there. He's going to try and get that. I was going to move these 2 together, but the public order there is a problem, so I need to sort it. We've conquered that, we've got that. Costalton's there, he can attack us, but this army does not concern me at all. And even injured, my chosen are still going to cut through this supposed front line that he's got, which is quite frankly embarrassing. So I'm not concerned by him at all. And from what I can see, he doesn't have another army that's in potential reinforcement range. So I might go there next and destroy that, or I might just go straight for Prague. But I've got to bear in mind there are these here that could counterattack. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, leave a like. If you're new around here, drop a subscription. Or if one of my current viewers aren't subscribed, hit that sub button for me. Let's help grow the channel. Take care everyone, have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next video.